Court is in session and calls number 324104. Case is style of State of Texas versus Sade Simpson. Ms. Simpson, how are you doing?
Fine.
That's good. Ms. Simpson, you're represented by your attorney, Attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor. Thanks for asking.
You are. Mr. Macy, what is your announcement in Ms. Simpson's case?
Your Honor, we'd like to have this reset to the plea docket.
Reset to the plea. How much time do you need?
How long do you want it? How long do you need before you're ready to come back?
I can do April 3rd.
That's 30 days. April, this is March, April, yeah, that's less than 30 days. We could give it 30 days. I mean, do you have to, let me ask you this here. Are you working? Okay. What about your schedule?
Well, the 30th is a Saturday, but.
I thought you said the 3rd.
She said the 3rd.
Oh, you said the 3rd? The 3rd's a Sunday.
Yeah, but I mean, we can do it anytime with
Can you do it next week?
Give me 30 days.
30
30
days.
days.
Okay,
Coordinator stepped up.
yes. We're gonna reset it for 30 days. Mr. Macy, you'll get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, Ms. Simpson, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. I think, Mr. Macy, this is your last case, so you'll be free to go as well, and you have a
Thank
blessed
you,
day.
Judge. Thanks for that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Yeah, you might want to step in the back, and the coordinator may give you a reset back there.
Okay, just,
Kaylin Daly,
Present, Your Honor.
would you ready on your plea?
Yes.
Okay, y'all can come forward.
This is Mr. Daly, Your Honor. He drove in from Houston this morning.
The court is in session and calls number 326226. Case is style of State of Texas versus Kaylin Daly. Mr. Daly, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Daly, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Daly, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Daly, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Daly? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Daly, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Jack Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, how are you doing?
Just fine, Your Honor.
Mr. Daly, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about February 4th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of burglary of a vehicle. Mr. Daly, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Daly, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Daly, I have before me another document. This document is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Daly, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Daly, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Are these your initials?
Yes.
And on the 3rd page of this same document, Mr. Daly, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, Mr. Daly, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that is titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Daly, there are two boxes, at least there's one box that's checked at the top of this document. The first box is, well, the box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Daly, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Daly, before you signed and initialed each of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Daly, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
Your Honor, with regard to State's Exhibit Number 2, I will simply note for the record that they seem to have difficulty identifying whoever was on the video who entered the car or burglarized the car. They found one person who thought they could identify him. So that's the basis of the present charges, is that someone he worked for identified him as the person who burglarized the car. Apparently it was difficult finding someone who could identify whoever was on the video. And that's all I'm going to comment. But that's what the PC affidavit states.
Okay, so do you object to, or you do not object to the probable cause affidavit?
I can't object to it under the circumstances.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibits Number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Lawrence, you've advised and counseled Mr. Daly. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Oh, none, Your Honor.
Mr. Daly, your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Daly, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do you have, or do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 180 days in jail probated over a term of 18 months, a $500 fine, 50 hours of community service. And the state has agreed that the defendant has spent 2 days in jail and should have 2 days of jail credit for the same.
Is that on
Well, that's gonna go toward his reducing his fees? That's what you said?
Oh, Your Honor, we're going to get into it in a minute, but he is
Oh,
he
get
is
into it.
probably indigent.
Well, you said something about the 2 days credit.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that 2 days credit toward
Toward his
his
court-
fine and court costs?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's gonna be reduced by $200?
Is it on, it's not, I didn't see.
It has 2 days credit, but I don't know. It has 2 days credit here.
That must have been put in.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, hold on a minute. She has to,
I just need to know what,
it's gonna be 2 days credit toward the fine and court costs. Yeah,
Good.
hold on a minute. She has to retype the paperwork, so it'll reflect that. It'll take a few minutes. Just hold on a minute.
If we could make it easier, we could do away with that issue and I just reduce the fine by $200. That would be simpler. Same result.
Okay, well,
Agree?
yeah,
Would that be simpler?
It doesn't matter to me, but it's just that it's not gonna, it'll make it, if you reduce the fine, it'll make a difference on the amount in the paperwork. If you just put 2 days jail credit, that will have to be taken care of by the probation office. It won't show on the amount.
Let's just let it be taken care of by the probation office, if that's okay with you, sir.
I don't have any problem either way.
okay, let me do this then, okay. Now, Mr. Daly,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 18 months.
Yes, sir.
Now, during the 18-month probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs, which comes to an amount of $852. Now, you will be given credit for 2 days that you spent in jail that will go toward your fine and court costs. And the credit is $100 per day, so 2 days is $200. And so you will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month. Do we have a affidavit indigence? And you'll also be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. And you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County, the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, the monthly installments, that is the total amount that you would have to pay each month, is $140. However, that amount is going to be reduced based on the 2 days credit. So it's not going to be more than $140 per month. Could you, hold on a minute. Yeah, I was wanting to see if you could do a judgment with it in there so I can kind of tell him what it probably would be. You like if you reduce it to 300,
If we reduce.
because he has a right to know what it is, what he's going to be paying. Mr. Daly, let me just repeat this. The state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 18 months. During the probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs, And the court cost is $352, which comes to a total of $852. Now, that fine and court cost is going to be reduced by $200 because you'll be given 2 days credit. So the fine and court cost, instead of being $852, is going to be $652. And you'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you'll be required to reimburse the Jefferson County Court Appointed Attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments without the 2 days credit will be $140 per month. With the 2 days credit, the probation, your monthly fees is going to be $128 per month. Do you understand that? Now, will you be able to pay the monthly fees?
120
Right,
every month.
yes.
I'm trying to get my job, so.
Okay, I'm just asking you a question, yes or no, can you pay? You will be able to pay it?
Your Honor.
Or we,
I need to-
hold on, Mr. Lawrence, I'm talking to your client.
Yes,
Now, I'm not trying to press you, just, all thing we're trying to do is get the truth out of you.
Yes, sir.
You can either tell me you will or you will not, and then we'll go from there. So what will you be able to pay it, or will you not be able to pay it?
Well, at this moment, I'm working, so.
Your Honor, if you could let me speak.
Hold on, now, he hadn't answered the question yet, then we'll give you a chance.
Yes, sir.
Will you be able to pay it, or will you not be able to pay it?
Yes, sir.
So you'll be able to pay the 128 per month, that's what you're saying?
17 months.
Right,
Yes, sir. I've been trying to do my best, so.
that wasn't the question. I mean,
Could I explain something?
you can talk to your client
Yes, sir.
you could explain that to him
I've
first.
already talked to him, and there's something you need to understand. He is probably indigent at this time. He, since this incident, he is presently unemployed.
Well,
and
you
he-
need to say that.
And he is he has only had temporary jobs. Up till 2 or 3 months ago, he was only having very, very temporary jobs. They call him when they needed him, basically. And the other thing is that he doesn't pay for it. He doesn't pay rent. He lives with his aunties there in Houston. He doesn't pay any rent. He lives with his mother's sisters. So he is, in my perception, he is largely indigent at this time. Now, this affects his ability to pay, I believe, these factors that I just mentioned. And I have discussed them with him, and like I say, he hasn't had a permanent job since the time of this incident. It's just, he's had temporary jobs up until about 2 or 3 months ago. And he's presently completely unemployed. And I don't know where he'd get the ability to pay this over a period of 18 months or so.
Yeah, but the question is, are you able to pay it, or are you not able to pay it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are unemployed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me do this. We'll do it by the, we're gonna reduce that to be 652. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now, your fine and court costs in effect is 652
Yes, sir.
instead of 852,
Yes, sir.
okay? So the 652 is gonna be reduced to community service. Well, not gonna reduce, because it's gonna be converted to community service. You'll be required to do an additional 52 hours of community service,
Yes, sir.
okay? The fine, not the fine, but the probation fee is going to be reduced from $60 to $25 per month. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
And that's pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And so the court is converting the fine and court costs. The fine and court costs. Well, first of all, the fine and court costs, the total is $852, but he gets 2 days credit toward the fine and court costs. So that'll reduce the 852 to 652. And the $652 is going to be converted to community service. It's going to be converted to 52 hours of community service. And your probation fee is going to be reduced from $60 per month to $25 per month. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, all of this is going to be in the paperwork. Also, you'll be required to perform, you got 52 hours of community service that was converted from fine and court costs, in addition to 50 hours of community service that you had agreed to in your plea bargain. So the total number of community service hours is going to be 102 hours of community service. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you will also be required to adhere to the, yes.
It does like until like the whole 17 months.
Yeah, you have to do community, that's
Uh,
the total amount that you have to do over your probationary period.
yes, sir.
Okay. Your attorney, Mr. Lawrence, if you have any questions about that, the probation office could explain it to you, and maybe your attorney may be, but you have a total of 102 hours of community service.
Yes, sir.
50 hours is your regular community service. 52 hours is the fine and court cost that was converted to community service.
Yes, sir.
And it comes to a total of 102 hours
Yes, sir.
of community service, okay? That you have to perform while you are on during the period of probation, okay? And your probation officer could fully explain it to you,
Yes, sir.
okay? And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's community service, that's 52 hours. 2 days credit. Okay. Now, Mr. Daly, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Daly, the court is going to follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Daly, the court has a copy of the affidavit of indigence, which verifies that you do not have any income. The court is going to take judicial notice of the affidavit of indigence. And just for the record, Mr. Lawrence, could you hand that document to your client? Mr. Daly, do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
And that's the affidavit of indigence? Is that correct? At the title is affidavit of indigence.
Oh, yes, sir.
On page 2 of that document, just flip it over. Is it his signature? Your signature is on one of those documents?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where it says defendant's signature, okay. And is everything on that document still true and correct today?
Yes, sir.
All right. You can hand it back to me. Now, Mr. Daly, the court is going to follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state, with the finding that you are indigent and pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, your fine and court costs will be reduced as well as and converted to community service, and your probation fees will be reduced to $25 per month. Mr. Daly, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney, and once you finish well, you're gonna follow the directions of our clerk, and once you finish following the directions of our clerk, you'll be free to go and you have a best day. Please stand on the X.
Just for the purposes of the record, Your Honor, the court would not have any objection to his transferring his probation to Houston, would you?
You have to talk to the probation officer. They handle that.
Yes, sir.
Right. Miss,
Yes.
oh.
That's the new one. You sign, please, black box.
Yeah, yes, sir. Okay, good.
I'm gonna do this there, hold it down. Would you raise your right hand? Swear that you have never before been given further adjudication or regular probation for a felony or misdemeanor in this or any
Okay. The court is in session and calls number 328070. Okay,
Hello?
Okay.
just hold on. The court is in session and calls number 328070. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Crystal Kiara Moore. We have Ms. Moore, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have Ms. Crystal Moore, who is appearing via telephone. Ms. Moore, how are you doing?
Fine.
That's good. Ms. Moore, you're represented in your case by attorney Don Boudreaux, who's present in court. Mr. Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement in Ms. Moore's case?
Your Honor, this involves allegedly a theft at a convenience store.
Hello?
Yes,
Just tell her, hold on.
just hold on one second.
Can you hear us, Ms. Moore?
Yes,
Okay, your attorney is speaking right now.
I can't hear nothing he's saying.
Okay, could you move that phone over, or maybe you could. Yeah, Mr. Boudreaux, would you, do you have an announcement you'd like to make in Ms. Moore's case?
Yes, sir. She's charged with a theft. All of the people that worked at the Jack in the Box were no longer there. And she believes that she cannot be proven, the state cannot meet its burden of proof and prove her guilt by competent evidence. And if that is the case, then, which I believe it is, and from what she's told me, we enter a plea of not guilty and would have to put it on the trial.
So you need to set it for trial? Okay, give us a trial date.
May 16th.
Okay, Ms. Moore, your case is going to be reset to May 16th for trial. Your attorney and your bondsman will be given your trial dates, give a notice of your trial date. This will conclude your case. You are free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman, and you have a blessed day.
What did you say?
May 16th of 2022.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you have a blessed day. And Mr. Boudreaux, you can get your reset. Once you get your reset from our coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Next case is cause number 329406, case of style of state of Texas versus Kenneth Williams. He's on Zoom. Mr. Williams, you can take your mic off of mute. Mr. Williams, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Williams, your case was reset. I think, was it reset to give you a chance to hire an attorney?
No, Your Honor. You had gave me a reset for trial because I'm representing myself.
Oh, the day is not a trial date. Your case is on the announcement docket. Your
Yes, sir.
case probably was reset to give you an opportunity to get with the district attorney's office to so that you can get discovery which is evidence, to view the evidence on your case. Have you done that?
No, sir. I've been sick, Your Honor.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna reset this case for announcement, again, to give you an opportunity to get with the district attorney's office so that you can have access to the evidence. Is that fine with you?
Your Honor, well, I do got some evidence for my case, so I can clear my name.
Okay, so my question now, you want to set your case for announcement, or you just want it to go to, put it on the trial docket? What do you want to do?
I want to put it on the trial docket, Your Honor.
Okay, give him a reset date. Okay, this case is going to be reset for trial May 16th of 2022. Stay in contact with your bondsman. Your bondsman will be sent notice of your reset. And you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Your Honor, can
Hold on,
I-
wait up.
Mr. Williams,
Yes, sir.
my name is Blake Ham. I'm the prosecutor who will be handling this case. If you'll
How you
call,
doing, Mr. Blake?
hey, how you doing? If you'll call the DA's office, all right, and just leave a message with your number, I'll call you back and we'll arrange a time to visit about it.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, so make sure you call the district attorney's office for,
What
and
is
ask
his name? What is his name, Your Honor?
Attorney Blake Ham.
Blake
Blake-
Ham?
Yeah, make sure you say Blake Ham.
Yes, sir. I will call Mr. Blake Ham.
Okay, because there's two lawyers in that office, last name Ham, but his name is Blake Ham.
Yes, sir. I wrote it down.
All right, so Mr. Williams, you're free to go. Your case is reset till May 16, 2022, and you have a blessed day.
Y'all have a better blessed day. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, it was brought to our attention.
Baby.
Is he, Mr., what waiver is he on?
He's on
First page.
page 1 of the announcement.
Okay, first of all, Mr. Gard, well, this is cause number 329184. Case of style of state of Texas versus Secretary Gordon. Now, your case was reset, Mr. Gordon, for you to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
No, sir, I was
Do-
in the process,
So how much time do you need?
probably, I'll see if you could appoint me one. Cause I
Oh.
was in the process of hiring one, but.
Okay, you have to fill out a financial questionnaire.
Okay.
Now, do you have the time to do that today? Because the prosecutor was saying that you had a family emergency.
Emergency, but, I probably can fill it out.
Okay, if you want to take the time to fill it out, we'll give you that time to fill it out. If
You got it?
he has a, and we hope that it's your mom?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we hope that she has a speedy recovery. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can have a seat at that table right there. He's gonna give you your reset. I mean, yeah, he's gonna give you your affidavit to fill out and a pen. Now, let's see, we got Mr. That's Gordon. Eisner. Is that Isaiah Pickens? Okay, Mr. Pickens, your case was reset to give you opportunity to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney? You still need more time?
No, sir, I want to waive my right to.
Okay, so you need to fill out some paperwork. Mr. Bailiff, give him that form that has I think it's judge's explanation and the waiver. He wants to fill that out. And he had a clipboard?
I agree.
Okay. He's gonna give you a clip. Just have a seat, go back and have a seat, and then when you finish, we'll call you back up. Lionel Laura? This is cause number 331196, case of style of state of Texas versus Lionel Laura Jr. Mr. Laura, is that your full name?
Yes,
How you doing, Mr. Laura?
I'm good.
Mr. Laura, your case was reset, is that correct?
Yes.
For you to hire an attorney?
No, I had to bring someone to sign a waiver for a gun charge.
Oh, okay,
That's to get my case moved.
okay, just, okay,
He's outside.
okay, well, you want him to have a seat and you're gonna talk to him later, or how you wanna handle it?
If I can talk to him, I'd be happy to.
Well, no, I think he's saying that the complaining witness is here, I guess. He's saying on somebody else. I don't know, you can look and see what your notes.
I don't know who came with him last time, but.
It was another district attorney?
Mhm.
Okay,
If he's.
oh, he did? Yeah, he did sign a waiver, that's what she said.
Okay, Your Honor, then happy to talk with him.
Okay,
And maybe we can,
just go back and have a seat and he'll talk to you in a little bit. Mr. Bailey. We're gonna get, let's see, we got.
Oh, that's nice. Oh.
Somebody gave me one in Spanish?
That's what's up. I just grabbed it.
Oh. They don't have no in English, no. No, all of those usually up there are in Spanish. The ones on the table were in English. They don't have any more copies?
They just want Spanish.
Make sure I didn't tucked under here.
I'll be right back.
But if it is, maybe our last, gonna have to make a copy of it. Court is in session in two cases. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Holly Caitlin Heisner. Ms. Heisner has two cases. First case is cause number 329-334. Second case is cause number 329-338. Both cases are again styled the state of Texas versus Holly Caitlin Heisner. Ms. Heisner, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Heisner?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Heisner. You're represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska, who is appearing on Zoom. Mr. Matuska, how are you doing?
Morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Ms. Heisner's cases?
Judge, may we have one more announcement setting so that we can obtain the body cams and dash cams? There's two of each in this case.
Okay.
We've already made the request. We just haven't received.
Okay. Okay, how much time do you need?
Probably 30 days.
Okay. Ms. Heisner, your cases will be reset for 30 days. All right, the case is going to be reset to April 22nd of 2022. Ms. Heisner, you're going to get your sign, you're going to sign for you, or you're going to get your reset here in court and with our court coordinator. So please stand in front of the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They will be given notice of your reset as well.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Matuska, these are your only two cases.
Yes, sir.
Your reset will be sent to you. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Have a great weekend, Your Honor.
All right.
No.
Mr. McIntosh,
Yes, Judge.
you have Christopher Anderson. Mr. Bailiff, would you see if Christopher Anderson appeared?
He's not there, Judge. He has COVID.
Oh,
He actually sent a family member. He sent a family member to my office yesterday to let me know.
oh, okay.
He was really concerned. He was really concerned about not maing court today.
Okay.
But I think I told him that I could ask the court for like a 3-week reset. I think that would give us enough time to know if this is going to be a short illness for him or if something that's going to be longer. And hopefully we can do something with this case in 3 weeks, Judge.
Okay, hold on a minute. Give us, make sure that he gets the, you know, the whatever proof that he has, to kind of, so the court will be able to verify. Now,
Okay.
oh, Mr. McIntosh, there was some,
Yes, Judge.
you had some pleas that you were supposed to sign the discovery certifications. And they're sitting on the court coordinator's desk. You probably need to come by the office.
Oh, I will do that. Sorry, Judge. I didn't know that I hadn't done that, but I will make sure to do that next week. I have
Okay.
court in Galveston this morning,
Oh, okay.
and so I'm down in Galveston. But next week I will absolutely go sign those.
Okay, it's my understanding that they can't be e-filed until they're signed.
Okay, they will be signed on Monday, Judge.
Okay, now what's that, give us a reset. You say, give us a reset date. You said about, what we're gonna do on, 3 weeks?
Yes, Judge. I think that gives him enough time to get better, and we should be able to do something at that point.
Okay, is she resetting it to April 15, 2022?
Perfect.
All right, this is your only case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. You as well.
All right, thank you. Okay.
What was that Mr. McIntosh was just talking about?
The court is in session and calls number 330-148. Case is styled State of Texas versus Derek Ryan Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Jenkins?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Jenkins, your case was reset for you to hire an attorney. Is that correct? Have you hired your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And who have you hired?
Mr. James Paget.
James Paget.
Yes, sir.
And so your case is going to be, Mr. Paget hasn't, I think Mr. Paget has contacted the court. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
And he's going to file a letter of representation on your behalf.
Yes, sir.
And your case is going to be reset to what day?
April 22nd.
Your case is going to be reset to April 22nd of 2022.
Yes, sir.
Stand in front of our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
This is Garden. Which one is his? Okay, Mr. Gordon, you could come forward. Okay, Mr. Gordon, I have two documents before me. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Are these your initials on the line stating that you would like to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document before me that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. And Mr. Gordon, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant Signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, now, Mr. Gordon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gordon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you God? Now, Mr. Gordon, you can put your hand down. On state's exhibit, on the first document, you acknowledge that that was your signature on the line that's titled Defendant and your initials on the line stating that you would like to apply for court-appointed attorney. Is that correct? And on the next document, affidavit of indigence, you acknowledge that you recognize this document. Is that correct? And that your signature was on the line that's titled Defendant Signature.
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, Mr. Gordon, I've read your affidavit of indigence. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Joel Vasquez. Our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez will be given information on also how to contact you. This will conclude your case. You're gonna stand on the X in front of our court coordinator to get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. And again, we'll be praying that your mother have a full and speedy recovery from an emergency. Have us stand on the X. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Your Honor.
Hold on a minute.
Yes, sir.
Lionel Laura and Mr. Dylan King. Mr. Laura, you stand on the X. Let Mr. Laura stand right there,
Oh,
and the other guy can stand over, he's the defendant.
yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Laura, okay, the court is in session. In cause number 331196, the case is style of State of Texas versus Lionel Laura Jr. Mr. Laura, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Laura, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Laura, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Laura, you may put your hand down. Again, Mr. Laura, how are you doing?
Good.
Mr. Laura, the state has filed a motion. Well, first of all, Mr. Laura, the state filed an information alleging that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawful carrying a weapon. And that was alleged to have occurred on or about November 14th of 2021. The state has filed a motion in this case to forfeit this weapon. Now, Mr. Laura, do you recognize this motion?
Yes.
And Mr. Laura, oops, on this side. Mr. Laura, is that your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Laura, prior to signing and initialing this document, did you read this document?
Yes, I read it.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I know.
And Mr. Laura, on this document, it also has a signature of Dylan King. And it has Dylan King, co-owner of weapon. Now, did you also bring into court Mr. Dylan King?
Yes.
Now, Mr. King, your full name is Dylan King?
Yes, sir.
Mr. King, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. King, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. King, I have a motion before me to forfeit this weapon.
Yes,
Do you recognize this motion?
Yes, sir.
And did you read this? And is this your signature on the line that says Dylan King, co-owner of weapon?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. King, prior to signing your signature on this document, did you read this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Laura, the state has filed this motion. The court is going to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon in this case. And this motion is signed by the co-owners, Mr. Lionel Laura Jr. and Dylan King. Is that correct, Mr. Laura?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that correct, Mr. King? So this case, this weapon is going to be forfeited to the Beaumont Police Department. State,
Yes, Your
do
Honor.
you have any additional motions?
Your Honor, state moves to dismiss.
Okay, Mr. Laura, the state has moved to dismiss the case against you. And I'm signing that motion to dismiss. Could you maybe put in here that the co-owner also?
Yes, Your Honor, will do. Mr. Gillum, do you still have any of those drug test kits?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just checking. Thank you. I was just checking.
Okay.
Okay. You might want to put his name on there too, the co-owner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thanks, Judge.
thank you. And Mr. Laura, I'm signing this motion to dismiss. Okay. Mr. Laura, you can step over there on the 4X and get a copy of your dismissal. Once you get a copy of your dismissal, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. King, you have a blessed day as well. You're welcome. And, yeah. Here you go. Let's just leave that in the file. You free to go. Okay.